Hey guys, this is the Actiri Magic Channel, and I'm Steve, the Actiri. Today we're going to be talking about a really cool new commander that came out this year, and his name is Osgir, the Reconstructor. He is a 4-drop, 1 red, 1 white, 2 generic, 4/4 vigilance. It says 1 generic, sacrifice an artifact, target creature you control gets +2/0 until end of turn, and he has this amazing ability at the bottom that says X and tap, exile an artifact with mana value X from your graveyard, create 2 tokens that are copies of the exiled card, activate only as a sorcery. So Osgir is really kind of our value commander. But don't worry, we have a combo if you wait till the end. Alright, let's talk about the best cards that we can play with Osgir. And our honorable mentions go to Tormod's Crypt and Wayfarer's Bauble. These cards do very different things, but I wanted to include them both here. Tormod's Crypt is going to help you with that problematic a player who's got a lot of graveyard stuff going on, and we're going to pay our 0 and get back this Tormod's Crypt with Osgir so we can keep exiling that opponent's graveyard at our leisure. Very good card, very underrated, but I love it. Now the next one we have on here is Wayfarer's Bauble, 1 drop, pay 2, tap sack it. Whenever you get to go search your library for basically land card, put it on the battlefield tapped. Now with Osgir, we get to go find 2 more lands and ramp ourselves further. It's so good. I love it. I play Wayfarer's Bauble all the time in basically everything I play. All right, next up, number 5 on our list is Solemn. If you're not familiar, he's a 4-drop 2/2. When he enters the battlefield, you go search your library for a basic land, put it in the battlefield tapped. It's awesome. It's good. And then you can go make copies of him whenever he dies. It says whenever he dies, you draw a card. So whenever you reanimate or make copies of Solemn from the graveyard, Osgir is going to make 2 copies, which means you're going to get 2 more basic lands, and whenever they block, you're going to go draw 2 more cards. It's good value, it's just a good card, and it's going to ramp us into our bigger things to do. Number 4 on our list today is Myr Battlesphere. Talking about that value, this is an expensive mana cost card. It's pretty budget. But anyway, it's a 4/7. When it enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 colorless Myr artifact creature tokens. When Myr Battlesphere attacks, you may tap X, untap Myr you control. If you do, Myr Battlesphere gets +X/+0 until end of turn and deals X damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. That's really good, because whenever we reanimate Myr Battlesphere, we're going to get 2 Myr Battlesphere themselves, and we're going to get 8 4/4 colorless Myr artifact creature tokens. So now whenever our Myr Battlespheres attack, we can choose which of the 2 Myr Battlespheres we want to pump so that they have a harder time blocking. And then secondly, we get 8 copies. So it's really, really powerful. Next up, third on our list, and this one was kind of last minute. Steel Hellkite is a 6 generic 5/5 flying. Pay 2 generic. Steel Hellkite gets +1/0 until end of turn. But that's not the reason we're running him. The reason we're running him is X. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X whose controller was dealt combat damage by Steel Hellkite this turn. Activate only once each turn. So if we have a problematic artifact or enchantment, or say something that's untargetable, this will help us get rid of it. This helps us get rid of a whole board of tokens. It's because for 0 we can destroy all 0 converted mana cost cards. If we're going to destroy all of their mana rocks, we can pay 2 for all of their signets. It's really good. I really love this card, and I think it should be played more in Commander. Anyway, and then number 2 on our list, I really like copying this ability from Osgir. Well, Battle Mage's Bracers and Illusionist Bracers both copy the activated abilities of Osgir the Reconstructed. Alright, Battle Mage's Bracers says equipped creature has haste. Whenever an ability of an equipped creature is activated, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 1 generic. If you do copy that ability, you may choose new targets for the copy. So for 1 extra a turn, or 1 extra an activation, we can copy the ability from Osgir. And it equips for 2, so it's not terribly expensive. Illusionist Bracers. Whenever an ability of equipped creature is activated, if it isn't a mana ability, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. So again, we're going to copy Osgir's tap ability, and we also don't have to pay any mana for it like we do with Battle Mage's Bracers. But both of these can easily slot into the deck. They're just so good. All right, and number 1, drum roll please. I don't want to tap my mic. Is the Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, you got the Moxen, you've got Mana Vault, you've got, what is that? Soul Ring. All of these mana rocks are just absolutely the best things you can be reanimating because it makes the rest of your game so much easier. Mana Crypt and Mana Vault, they're expensive cards, and I do want to point out that Mana Crypt, if you're making copies of it, now you've got 2 of these flip triggers where you might have a problem in shooting you in the face at the beginning of your upkeep, so now you have 2 of these going off. But Mana Vault can ramp you significantly, but you just have to be aware that you've got some drawbacks whenever it is tapped. Okay, now let's talk about this combo. Steven, you promised us a combo, sir! You promised! Alright, you're right, I did promise. Alright, let's talk about it. So, I like Basalt Monolith and Rings of Bright Hearth in this deck. So, in Osgir, there's probably a high chance that you're going to be looking for artifacts and enchantments in your deck to begin with. I would include Magda in this deck. But Basalt Monolith is a 3-drop, and Basalt Monolith doesn't untap during your tap step. It says tap, add 3 colorless to your mana pool, and 3 generic untap Basalt Monolith. Okay. Well, Rings of Bright Hearth will copy activated abilities. That untapping of Basalt Monolith is an activated ability, and you may pay 2 generic. If you do, copy that ability. Choose new targets for the copy. So, what are we going to do with this? Well, Rings of Bright Hearth is going to let us, we're going to tap Basalt Monolith for 3 colorless, and then we're going to untap Basalt Monolith for 3 colorless. Well, that first untap, we're going to copy it with Rings of Bright Hearth, and then produce a net gain 1 mana whenever we tap Basalt Monolith every time. So we're going to tap it, we're going to pay to untap it, and then we're going to copy the untap. So now we're going to start generating 1 mana every time we cycle through this. And we're going to get infinite colorless mana. And oh, by the way, you only need 5 mana sources outside of Basalt Monolith to make this go infinite. Actually, 2 to make this go infinite. Once you get this to infinite mana, you can do all kinds of crazy goodness with it. Like, for instance, one of the cool ones that I found was, with our infinite mana, we just talked about that. We can make infinite mana plus Codex Shredder. Codex Shredder with Rings of Bright Hearth is going to do some pretty cool stuff for us. So it says tap, target player mills a card, which is good, but we also like this 5 colorless here at the bottom. Tap, sacrifice Codex Shredder, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Now, with Rings of Bright Hearth, Codex Shredder is going to target, so on the first time we sacrifice it to return a card from a graveyard, we are going to target something with our infinite mana, rather. Supposing we have infinite mana. We are going to target something in our graveyard that we want back, whatever it may be. And then we're going to copy Codex Shredder's return target card from your graveyard to your hand. So, with Rings of Bright Hearth, because we have infinite mana. So what's going to happen then is our Codex Shredder is going to go to the graveyard on the first activation. The second ability at the bottom is going to be copied with Rings of Bright Hearth and return. We're going to target Codex Shredder with the second copy of that activated ability. We're going to return Codex Shredder from our graveyard to our hand. So we're going to repeat this over and over again. So we're going to have 2 activations of Codex Shredder. We're going to copy that activation via the Rings of Bright Hearth with our infinite mana that we just made. And then we're going to take all of the stuff in our graveyard and put it back in our hand. And then probably recast it and win the game because we've got infinite mana. Another great thing you can do with this infinite mana is you can play Walking Ballista. And you can go and shoot their faces forever. Name that movie, guys. What movie did this come out of? Anyway, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day, guys. See ya. Bye.